It's so lovely to see everyone. Can everybody hear?
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. Oh, this is fantastic. Welcome. Um, I'm going to do an introduction, a little bit of an introduction to Iman and Ashtar Theatre, just so you all know who I am. I'm Ash Marinaccio. I am chair of Friends of Ashtar in New York. So I'm coming to you from Midtown Manhattan today, and I'm a theater maker, director, photographer, and I have been collaborating with Iman, how long has it been? Has it been like almost 10 years now? It's
Well,
been
yeah, I suppose.
it's been a minute.
Time
So
flies.
it's yes. So we're friends of Ashtar. We're based in New York. There are other chapters throughout the US and actually throughout the world. It has expanded significantly. And we're here to support the work of the theater. And Sulu has been so generous. Sulu from Theater of the Oppressed New York has been so generous to create this event today, which we're so psyched to talk about this on World Theater of the Oppressed Day, talking about the work of the Theater of the Oppressed work at Ashtar Theatre. Um, Tulu, is there anything you'd like to add before I do the introduction? Or I read.
I don't think so. Thank you all for joining us. I will kind of mostly be on tech support as Iman shares some presentations with us. I did say in the chat, please feel free to let us know like where you're calling in from. It's lovely to know and have people connect. Um, and afterwards, after the presentation, we'll be having some Q&A time. So that is where we will invite you to put some questions in the chat. So yeah. Thank you all for joining us.
Well, a little bit about Ashtar Theatre. Ashtar is a dynamic local Palestinian theater with a truly progressive global perspective. They aim to promote creativity and commitment through change through a novel combination of specific training and acting programs and services and professional theater performances. Um, they if a marginalized audience is unable to come to the main location in Ramallah, they move their stages often to remote areas to include everyone. And one of Ashtar's pioneering specialties is forum theater. And they've used forum theater as active dialogue and commitment for social change within the society. Um, they I am reading this. Um, and a little bit about Iman, who I'm going to introduce right now. Iman is the co-founder of Ashtar Theatre. In 1991, she became the artistic director until 2021, when she became executive director. Aoun is best known for her dexterity as a theater maker, seen by the international community as an accomplished director, producer, actor, dramaturg, and intellectual. She was the initiator and the driving force behind major international undertakings such as the Gaza Monologues in 2010 and in 2023, Ashtar International Youth Theater Festival in 2012, the Syrian Monologues in 2015. Her works often focus on grassroots indigenous youth and women empowerment to resist occupation, gender disparity, international donor agendas, corruption, and political stagnation. Over nearly 4 decades in the theater, Iman Aoun has been recognized with prestigious awards from the Cairo International Festival for Experimental Theater, UN Equity Now, Cairo Youth Regional Festival, Algiers Arab Theater Festival, the Yemeni Ministry of Culture, and CEC Arts Link, and many others. She was the finalist for the Gilder Cogni International Theater Award by the League of Professional Theater Women, and her debut documentary film directing, The Gaza Monologues, her debut documentary film directing The Gaza Monologues, 10 Years, The Dream Continues, has won multiple international awards. She is the founder and board member of the Palestinian Performing Arts Network and Palestinian arts organizations. Iman, I am so excited to turn this over to you. I will be doing some technical work. If anybody needs anything, feel free to reach out to me directly. But Iman, thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashley, so much for this introduction. And thank you, Sulu and Theatre of the Oppressed New York for hosting me and hosting Ashtar Theatre today. And of course, the thanks go to Howard Round for hosting us live. And thanks to each and every one of you who had made it to be with us in this encounter and this hour of theater talk, and also to know more about Ashtar Theatre and what we are up to and what we are doing and why we are doing what we are doing. So if I may start by like I have this presentation, but I will be also talking over the PowerPoint that I will be sharing. So as Ashley said, in 91, Ashtar Theatre was founded by two prominent actors, Edward Muallim and myself, in Jerusalem, because it was the time when we have thought that we did not have, prior to 91, education for the young people to study theater, but also we were coming out of the first Intifada. The young people had lost faith in grown-ups. They had faced atrocities of the occupation. They have lost many dear ones and peers that of the same age, because the youth, the young people, were the ones who really carried the first Intifada. So we thought that it is time to give these young people a new aspiration, a new way to really express themselves, to be able to speak up, to be able to imagine, to be able to think beyond the horizons, and to be active. So we created Ashtar Theatre. Why Ashtar? What is the name Ashtar come from? Ashtar is the name of a Canaanite, Mesopotamian, strong female goddess. She is the goddess of love, fire, and prosperity. And fire comes also with the war. So we have chosen this name because we believed deeply in the strength of this female goddess from one side, but also because of all the dichotomies of love and war, and that has it is embedded in drama, that you always have dichotomies and you have the oppositions in the drama, but also fertility is part of why we do theater and why we have chosen training as the main factor of our work. So we started as the first theater school in 91. Then in 92, we expand our work into Gaza. Of course, Gaza and the West Bank and Jerusalem were all one entity at that time. It wasn't the division of places and of barriers and of walls. But soon, after the Oslo Agreement, the division and the cutting of the places started to emerge. And in 95, we had to go into Ramallah because Jerusalem had no place to grow anymore for Palestinians. So we went into the West Bank, and Ramallah was booming after the returnees have got to Ramallah, and there were possibility of life and of expansion there. In the year 2025, we have moved into Birzeit as well. And now we are beginning our new chapter, which I will be talking about very soon. So in 97, as I said before, Okay, people are coming in, so I'm I'm trying to slow down so people can be able to follow what I will be saying. Um, okay. Ashley,
I have it, Iman.
yes, thank
We're
you,
letting
because
folks in.
I've been doing
No,
the
don't worry.
entering
Do
of
not
the
worry about
people.
letting anybody in. I'm letting them
All
in as
right.
we go.
Okay,
All
no
good.
worries. Okay, so Palestine, after the Oslo Agreement, the world thought that, well, now there is peace. On the contrary, now, after 93, the checkpoints started to be imposed on the Palestinians. We were not able to move from one place to another. We started to be impacted in our different cities or villages. And so in 97, since people were not able to really move freely to Ramallah, where we are based, or to Jerusalem, where the theater life had been vibrant, um, every single region became separate from each other, cut by 73 checkpoints. So we thought that, what can we do? How can we really reach to our people? We have to think of going to them with the theater, because for us, theater is part of the rights. We look at theater making as one of the most important resistance in culture and resilience for the people on the ground. Because culture can give us our humanity back, because culture and theater and art can really help us maintain and be able to resist the the daily atrocities that we are facing. So we have chosen theater of the oppressed as the means that can allow us reach out to the people with very modest technicalities, but very profound ideas that can really reach out to the people where they are and raise their voices, because they need to be heard. Um, at the moment, Ashtar Theatre has 8 artists that are working in the West Bank and 8 artists that are working in Gaza. 8 artists that are working in Gaza, even under the genocide, they continued to work. They are all part of the Gaza monologues writers. We are still in contact with 20 of the writers of the Gaza monologues out of the 33. Some of them had left the country, but they are still in contact with us. And some of them are still there. They are doing work that I will be talking about in a minute. Oops. How does this work? Oh. Okay. As Ashley was saying, that Ashtar Theatre, myself, but not only myself, but the theater also had won many prizes over the years. So these are some of them. The scope of our work then at the moment really covers this triangle. We started in Jerusalem, but the heart of our work is at Ramallah, because our theater base is in Ramallah and expanding to Bir Zayt. But we also work in the Jordan Valley, in the eastern part of the West Bank, and in Gaza. Over the years, we had been able really to reach out to many of our local people with the different programs that we have, because we stand on a tripod. I always try to present it this way, because we have 3 major programs, but we were able to really take especially the theater of the oppressed, to places that we have never even heard of, to small villages, to Bedouin communities, to big cities, big theaters. We from 97 until 2023, when the genocide war erupted, we were able really massively to move around the country, but not only, also abroad, like in the Arab world, but also internationally. We had been able to reach 500 cities, and 125,000 people had studied with us, trained with us, and benefited from our different programs. The 380 graduates are the young graduates of the school that would study 4 years with us, and then they will graduate and get a certificate from Ashtar and the Ministry of Culture in Palestine. We were able to do also so many plays, 66 for the students, 34 with the professionals, but 81 social plays that are mainly forum plays that had been done with actors, but also with non-actors. We kept the training going on with our community, as I said before, because we want to give voice to our people, because we believe that through the dialogue that we have learned from Boal and from the theater of the oppressed, the dialogue is the first step to really be able to make a change. Because first of all, if you do not express yourself, if you do not share your ideas, if you are unable to be heard and hear others, then you can only reflect. You cannot act, you can react. And in reaction, there are always problems. But when you are able to think and act, then you can do, first of all, you can be free from the inside. So this is one of our major attempts, is to give internal freedom to our community, to our students, to our people. Because if you are free inside, you can free your country, you can free your society. But an unfree person cannot really do or bring freedom to themselves or to others. So this is the tripod that I spoken about just now. These are the three major programs. We do youth empowerment, community development, and cultural bridging. And underneath it, there are many projects. So at the school, we try really to give a diverse possibility for our students. We give them the possibility to do their original text, to write, and to express. We also try to work with them on the international repertoire, so that they would learn about theater in general, but also we try to give them the possibility to adapt and put their input into what they learn and what they see and what they understand. Because without giving them the space to think, they cannot grow. Our students in their fourth year, they prepare an international festival. And this is the International Youth Festival that Ashley spoke about, that she was part of 10 years ago. So we were able to do 6 editions of this International Youth Festival, where we have connection with different youth groups, but also universities and theater schools. The aim there is also to show our young people that that they belong to a bigger family, an artistic family that is expanded everywhere, that they can think, they can elaborate, but they can also they can affect others. They can present our story, our struggle, and our narrative to the world by their art. So when the people were not able to come to Ashtar, we took our stage, we took our actors, we took our stories, and we started to go to them. So the community engagement started to go wider and deeper. We did not stop by only presenting or formulating plays for the community. We went into the community, we lived with the community, we researched with them, we took their issues, and we trained them how to become advocates for themselves. This is, for example, a community of Bedouin women who had never thought that they might ever be doing theater, or that they can even move their bodies differently than cooking and the chores that they have to do. But by giving them the platform, by giving them the space through the use of theater of the oppressed, they were able to speak up to their community that is and they had to share also what they feel as women inside their Bedouin community. And that made a difference to their lives and to their community as well. So in the theater of the oppressed plays, it's not always, as I said, it's not always happening inside a theater. It can happen in the street, it can happen under a tent, and it can happen anywhere, also inside a theater. But here, for example, I mean, some of you probably would know more or less about how theater of the oppressed works, but there are different ways of tackling issues. It can be tackled either only with images, or we can do forum, or we can do legislative. In these two plays, we did legislative theater, where we have raised issues about domestic violence. On my right side, or your right side as well, the changing perceptions of domestic rape, because the law in Palestine about domestic rape was called incest. So when the women would go to the court, or even before, when they go to the police would harass them, because they say, you are part of you're responsible for what had happened to you, because incest give this connotation. So we wanted to change the law, and we worked with other organizations. We raised the issue of domestic violence, that it is rape when it is under 18, but even sometimes when it is older than 18, and when the women are unable to stand up for their rights, it is a rape. And therefore, we were able to change the law concerning that issue 100%. The workers' right also, the women and the men who work on daily basis did not have any rights in the Palestinian law. So we also worked with the Labor Party and with different organizations, and we raised the issue. And now workers, they have to have certain we raise the base of what they get, even if they are daily workers. So we did not stop on just presenting, but also we try to really convey the knowledge for the people, because if we only do it, if we only show it, then they will do it once, twice with us, and then things would evaporate. So we believe in the proverb that says, instead of giving me a fish, teach me how to fish. So we try to teach our people how to fish by creating books that talk about the theater of the oppressed. We translated the books of Boal. We have written also our own books about training and about psychosocial interventions, and about the plays that we are doing, and our own methodology. Okay, there's a small video, number one, Sulu, if you can share it, please.
Yes, I will go over to share my screen.
Shall I stop my share?
I think it has switched to me now. Yes. Do you see it?
Not yet.
Folks in the chat, are you seeing my screen? Yes. Okay. I'm seeing some nods. So I'm going to hit
Yes.
play and cross my fingers.
Yes, we see you. Yes. No, we don't see you. Sulu, we cannot see. Sulu, sorry.
Yes, I'm back. Testing.
Sorry, we did not see.
Okay, I see some people in the chat. Ash, can you come on?
Yes, I'm able to see and hear it on my end.
Okay. Iman, are you still trying to share your video?
If you want me, I can, but
No. I'm just trying to problem solve.
No,
Okay.
I'm not sharing.
It looks like the chat, everybody in the chat is able to see it.
Okay, thank you. We have somebody in the chat who's saying maybe Iman, check the tab at the top of your Zoom, that there might be some tabs to switch between your view and seeing my presentation.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Amazing. Let's try that again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You can make it bigger if you want.
We're unable to hear it now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. We're good.
بيئة هاي الشخصيات شو كنتوا بتعملوا؟ خليني أسمع.
Can you put the English subtitles, not the Arabic?
تساعدوا الشخصيات اللي وقع عليها الاضطهاد. يعني نطالب إنه نطلب من المدارس الثانية، وإحنا طبعاً بصوتنا إنه نفتح مدرسة ثانية عشان إنه نقدر نوصل بالتعليم.
انت لما اتجوزت امني مش كان عمرها 13 سنه دي يا امني؟
ايوه عمتي.
شو يا امني انت مش حاكي مع جوزك؟
والله لسه هلا دخل الدار.
طب انا هيني حكيت معاه وهو
This is about the story of Muna, also about killing, about child marriage. The girl is only 13, and there was a law that allows that. That was also a play that is legislative, that we were able to raise the age of marriage from 13 to 18.
صبية صغيرة يعني بيتم الاعتداء عليها والتعريض على الخطر يعني اعتداء عليها.
نشوف الاقتراح مع بعض.
Sulu, if you could, can you try to change on CC to the English subtitles?
انت هذا يا شرف. يا سيد وانت. انا بدي الشغله الشريفه ودائما اللي اساعد فيها اهلي.
شو لازم نعمل؟ ايش ممكن تعملوا علشان تقدروا تغيروا هذا الوضع؟ غير المدرسة أو البيت؟
بالعيلة أمه لسعيد ما كان لازم تسمح أصلا يصير كل الموضوع. مشهد لما بيجي سعيد بيحكي لها إنه أنا قد تركت المدرسة وزوجتي.
طيب خلينا نشوف
المدرسة يستحون.
ايش ولك بعدين في النهار راح قدام العالم الناس شو صارت لما كنت تشتكي يا رحمن ولا
عملنا لك شغل او شكل طبعا كثرت عيد الشغل ديال
شغل شو يا ماما والمدرسة يا حبيبي؟
المدرسه خلص طحونا معنا.
ضحوك يا حبيبي؟ طب ليش شو سويت؟
ما سويتش شيء.
شو هم هيك؟ وليش ما حكيت لي؟
So these are, of course, different plays, excerpts of, this is about problems of harassment inside the work. The one before was about drug dealing, especially for young people in Jerusalem. We cannot hear we cannot hear anymore, can we? No, we cannot hear. Okay, we can stop if.
Okay, I paused. I hadn't changed any, I adjusted the volume while you were speaking, but I could still hear the video. Did it stop for other folks too? Yeah. Interesting.
So, okay, we can stop here because it's a pity to go on when it's not working. But I mean, it's in the chat, guys. If you'd like to see it, you can anytime later. So, if we can.
I will move the links to the chat, yes. And we can try again with another video. I can adjust some settings and see.
Yeah.
So this
So
is the link
anyway,
yeah.
Sorry, Sulu. You were saying.
I just saying that I had put the link to that video in the chat now.
Great. Okay, so bottom line, if to talk about the work is what we try to do with the different plays that we have done is that we really had taken issues from the community themselves based on research that we were doing extensively on different subjects, and we try to put them into plays that are complete and full, to present them to not only to the community but also to decision makers. So we were able to do different processes that can help the community reach a better status, a better situation with different problems that they encounter. Of course, we in the Theatre of the Oppressed, we focused in our work on the social aspects, on the economic aspects, rather than on the political aspects. Why did we do that? Because if we were to really raise issues of the politics within the Theatre of the Oppressed form, we wouldn't have been able to change really the situation, because the situation needs more accurate work on the ground. We know that in theater of the oppressed, it is the actual performance is a rehearsal for revolution. But in our case, living under occupation immediately, the people, they know what they need to do in the street. What they have to learn is what they need to do in their community first, in order to be stronger when they go to the street. And so we focused on the internal aspect. We focused on the personal issues of the community members, but also the collective problems of the society. By doing so, we were also able to reach out of Palestine, because we were the first people to use theater of the oppressed in the Arab world. So, so we started to go out of Palestine to train other groups in Cairo, Jordan, Tunisia, and Yemen. And that had given us the platform to really expand and go to all these places and work with many groups around the world, and use the technique of the theater of the oppressed, because for us, the technique was not only a play to be done or a forum play to be done. The technique was a vision of practicing life, because we believe that if we are not jokers of our life on a daily basis, if we are not doing this dialogue within ourselves, but also with the others on daily basis, then we cannot really make change that we aspire. So we did not stop by doing theater of the oppressed as it is, as plays, as I said, but also we used the techniques in the different forms. We used the techniques of like games and exercises to work on the psychosocial support of our young people. In 2004, we developed a technique of psychosocial intervention after the first re-incursion of the West Bank. So just mind with me, every time there is like a war, an incursion, or an intifada, we had to act and not to react. We had to think ahead of what is happening. We had to make the theater flexible enough to help our society. We had to reform our role in order to intervene and in order to give possibility to the youth and to the general segments of the society. So we started to enter the schools and work with the young people using the theater of the oppressed, but also using other techniques, creative writing, and sport theater and everything else, in order to give them the space to regain their smile, to give them the space to regain their voice, to regain their self-confidence, because the first thing that happens usually after trauma is you lose faith in yourself, and then you lose the faith in the grown-ups around you, and then you intact yourself, and or you become violent towards yourself and your surrounding. So by playing, by joyful participation, by recreation of the community, the young people were able to overcome the trauma. So, yeah, addressing trauma, anxiety, depression, etc., through the art and the drama. After the genocide war in 2023, we retook again this program of psychosocial intervention, and we went into the schools, especially into the UNRWA schools, because all the refugee camps were under attack. So they started to really go into the different, and you all know, also in the West Bank, in the north, in Jenin and Nablus, and also in the Ramallah area, in Jerusalem, etc. So we did a program with the UNRWA schools in our surrounding, which means that we are in Ramallah, the area around us. It has about eight different UNRWA schools. We went in all of them, and we tried to work with the young people. But this time we try to work more thoroughly over the year with them, so they don't only get one time, like, it's not only about presenting games, but it's also about trying to find the game inside each and everyone, which means that they have to find their own way out of their depression and their trauma and their frustration. So we also trained the teachers, and we try to give them the books that I showed you before, because we have a manual that is mainly done to help the teachers pass the games with the children as well. Sorry. These are our 8 artists in Gaza who were also training during the genocide under the tents in the different parts, in the north, in the middle, and in the south, and they continue to do so throughout. And they are part of the Gaza Monologues writers. So these are the young 33 writers in 2010. So now you all know about them, of course, from the project of the Gaza Monologues. So from the 23 till the 25, we were able to reach 73 countries who presented the Gaza Monologues. In the US, there are many groups all over the US somehow, but also all over the world. There are people who had presented the Gaza Monologues. The Gaza Monologues, when they were done, they were based on the theater of the oppressed technique. The training had been given to them. Mainly, they were trained to learn theater of the oppressed, but also they learned how to write their own monologues and their own stories and their own testimonies of the war. So the theater of the oppressed had been in the core of our work, in the essence of how we see training and how we see the work in our society. But we don't only stop there. We also use different means and different methods in order to create cultural bridges with the world. We use different theater forms. We use circus, we use physical theater, and we also use natural realism or magical realism, but also we use futuristic plays. So these 4 plays, 2077, Guernica Gaza, that you are invited to see tomorrow, Awalem and Oranges and Stones, are plays that are made by professionals, and they are touring at the moment internationally. Okay, so all of that had been up until the new chapter. So what is our new chapter? The new chapter is the Performing Arts Village and Academy in Birzeit. And this is the new thing that we are starting. And because we believe that facing the occupation, you have to face it by building the future. We have to be stronger than the accurate and than the present. We have to think ahead. We have to really go beyond what they are trying to do to us. They're trying to hush us. They're trying to exterminate us. They're trying to oppress us, and we are trying to build. We're trying to strive. We are trying to make our future much more brighter. Okay, there's another, I don't know whether we can share it or not, but let me try to share it. Maybe it would be a better way
Perhaps, Iman, although I just want to acknowledge that it's getting close to the hour. So if
Okay.
we wanted to make space to have
Yes.
anybody ask questions, this might be the moment. And I can put that link into the chat for
Yes.
people to watch after.
So
Yeah.
a few more only things to say, that this dream is coming also with our main partners, who are Palestine Circus or Palestine Circus School. This is how they were called before, and now they are called the Palestine Circus, and they are close to our building that I have shown you here. And it is called a village because it is an 8 dunums, which is like 8,000 square meters, where it has the circus, Ashtar Theatre, but also the Edward Said Music Conservatoire, where the 3 of us are sharing the same space. And it is buildings that used to be the old Birzeit University buildings. So now we are continuing the legacy of the Birzeit old university and into the new chapter, which is the Academy of Performing Arts, Theatre and Circus together, and music hopefully will join us in the academy as well. How can people help us? By exchanging with us artists and projects and become friends of Ashtar and support us, of course. Please scan me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Iman. I'm going to be putting some, yes, actually, Ash just put some things in the chat. And so my first question to you to open up some questions had been, how do we directly support? But I'm hearing you've just said, and we are, so we invite, especially if the people here are connected to networks of people who are already supporting Theater of the Oppressed around the globe. Can you share this project beyond this Zoom? And also there is a special fundraising initiative that begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, where the donations are being matched up to $50, I understand. So I will also make sure that that link is correct in the chat. And I'm going to invite the people in the chat to share some of your questions. We will maybe have time to pull a couple. But maybe briefly, Iman, my first question, as today is World Theatre of the Oppressed Day and the birthday of Augusto Boal, is just, I would love to hear, how did you first encounter the practice of Theatre of the Oppressed?
Yes. Well, first of all, let me say that it is such a pity that the video did not finish because at the end of the video, Augusto Boal addresses us.
Okay.
And he's on the video, and it's such a pity, but you can see it yourself. Anyway, how did we encounter it? Personally, I came from social work psychology, and I did my my studies on psychodrama. And by studying psychodrama, I encountered theater of the oppressed. So I learned about it only through books, and I didn't know what to do about it or what to do with it. Then in 97, when all these checkpoints started to be imposed on us, we thought that we have to think of a different means of how to reach out to the people. So we had like the idea of really starting to do a forum play. Maybe a forum could like it is the easiest and the most the lightest thing to travel to the people. And this is how we started. And from there, I think that the first time we did it, the people just loved the idea. They were very engaged. Automatically, they were engaged as audience, as spectators in the plays. And we thought, yes, exactly, this is what is needed in Palestine. I mean, Palestine deserves a theater of the oppressed form. And then we sent Edward to Boa to the CTO in Brazil. He took a workshop, and then Barbara Santos, the assistant of Boal, came for 3 years to Palestine, and she taught us the method.
Thank you. And I have welcomed, because we have so many TO people here, for you to share who connected you. And I would love to see if somebody has a question. Hector, did I see your hand raised?
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Hector.
Hi, man. It's wonderful to see you. And I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate Augusto Boal's legacy than to hear what has happened to TO in Palestine, because Palestine needed TO, but TO needed Palestine. And I feel that that's one of the things that we're learning. I also love that you and I have very similar history of how we got to TO. I'm a therapist, and I was also studying psychodrama when I discovered Rainbow Desire, and it was the perfect bridge between the work that I was doing as a therapist and the work that I was doing as an artist. So, and now I'm working in Colombia in the peace process, using theater of the oppressed and the word that reconnects and ritual to address collective trauma, which I feel is what you are also doing, is how do we offer collective healing, which is healing as communities
Yes.
in these stories of separation that we have that have been so destructive, and of course that disconnection from life. So thank you so much for this presentation and the work that you do, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Does
Come
somebody
back to Palestine.
does somebody else have a question? I'm going to say, for a room that I know has a substantial number of Theater of the Oppressed jokers whose profession is asking questions. I will add, oh, here we go. Rosa.
Hi, thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us. It's really so fascinating to hear about. And I just wanted to ask whether there is a kind of frustration at times ever about, I guess, kind of what some people might see as the limitations of when people want to change everything about their situation. And that, as we know with TO, there can be those kind of times when we have to accept what we can change within a particular set of conditions and circumstances. And I'm just wondering, in the Palestinian context, whether at times that's something that you have to navigate and struggle with your audiences.
Certainly. I mean, life is not, it's not all rosy and beautiful. Many times we had encountered difficulties of working with, especially working in remote areas with women, especially when we wanted to mix them, men and women. But we also respect and understand the community. We cannot really get down parachuting on them with our city ideas when we do not live their daily lives. And when we were younger, we wanted to be we were more revolutionary, and we wanted to change the world with a how do you say, with a magical stick. But it doesn't work this way. Life is not like that, and we learn the lesson. We learn that we have to be able to listen more, listen with our hearts, not with our ears, to really see beyond what we are looking at, and to really feel that the fear that the community would have is not because they are only closed-minded. Sometimes the fear is right because they have experienced it. They have experienced difficulties that had put them into the category of being protective of themselves, or of others. So yes, we learned also how not to be frustrated. We learned how to learn, because this is the major aspect. You have to exercise on yourself what you want, what you ask the others to do. And if you yourself do not change, then you're not a change maker. So yes, absolutely. There are also frustrations of different kinds that are more difficult, like we encountered the occupation, the soldiers. We were not able to go into one place, or they raided during a performance. I mean, that had created more fear, more rejection. We asked ourselves many times whether we should go back or not. But it's been 77 years. And we learned how to be resilient. So we are elastic because we know the essence of life, because life is not a concrete wall. You have to be lucid, you have to be elastic in order to continue.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Iman. Because we have reached the hour, I see we have a question in the chat, and we have Fateh. Do you have time to hold additional questions? Amazing. And for
Please.
those who cannot stay beyond the hour, Thank you so much for joining. Please invite people to join the screening tomorrow, and please share the donation link for their campaign. We're so grateful that you were able to gather. Claudia's question, which has been waiting here in the chat, Claudia, is if you could elaborate on a specific technique that you have discovered that was most impactful for the process for your actors and its impact on the audiences.
Yes, I think a joint technique of the different a melange, let's say, of techniques from the theater of the oppressed, but not only to be rigid in the way of just presenting and taking like the interaction from the audience, because if the audience want to talk and not to be coming up, then we can also do location plays that the people can be taking part of playing while we are doing the play, even if they are not, even if it is not a one-to-one forum play. So they become intervening within a play, and they have to really give from themselves to the how do we say, to the growth or to the development of the scene, because every time, every day, the person inside might bring something else. This had happened, for example, in a play that was called Beit Yasmin, or the House of Yasmin, when we have spoken about how the international donors are in Palestine to keep the question of Palestine stagnated, because they don't want development and they don't want freedom of Palestine. They want to keep the status quo of the occupation as is. And so we have strongly criticized that with the play, but we made the people become part of the play while we are doing it from the first minute until the end. So that is one of the techniques that we have also discovered in our development path, if you want.
Thank you, Iman. And we have a hand raised from Fateh.
Yeah, hi, Iman. Great to see you.
Hi, Fateh.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. كيفك أنت?
This is, I mean, perhaps more of a question in my mind than a question for all of us in some ways. And I wouldn't call myself really a TO practitioner, although I'm familiar with the work of Boal and all of that. And we did do a production of the Gaza monologues also here in Maine. But the question I had is the difference between the methodologies of TO for purposes of healing and for purposes of community solidarity versus, and I put that intentionally, versus as for purposes of resistance. In some ways, I mean, here in the US, we have a lot of focus on healing and managing grief and managing sorrow and sadness and seeking solidarity and understanding, and less so on the kinds of theater that can be a call to action, a call to resistance, one that actually lights fire under people's behinds to actually move. So, and I often, I can't quite find a balance between the two. So I'm just wondering if you would say anything to that, or if anybody else would like to contribute to that as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Fateh. Yes, I think it is really important question, because the TO as a methodology in itself, it doesn't really tell you to do one thing or the other. The methodology is there, and it has different ways. Like the healing part as Hector was saying, he uses the Rainbow of Desire, and in Rainbow of Desire is particularly made for trauma healing or for personal issues healing or community healing. But it is one part of the Theater of the Oppressed tree. It's not the whole thing. While other technique like and specifically forum theater and legislative theater are made for the dialogue with the audience. Now, in forum theater, you can use it in order to really stimulate the dialogue, but you can also stimulate beyond the dialogue. You can, because when you raise a taboo, or when you raise an issue that has to do with politics, then that for sure you are opening up ideas, you're opening up debates, you're opening up action orientation. But that doesn't mean that you go out from the theater into the street, because also this is only a reaction that would only bring another reaction or action that might put the people in danger. But it can really build on steps of awareness. And that is what is needed. You have to really work on the deep awareness of the audience to understand, to realize that in our case, for example, when we have the occupation and you talk about a social issue, you don't talk about the social issue in a bubble. You talk about it because there is an occupation and because it's an effect of a major cause, but that brought many cause effects to the smaller issue that we are raising. But then when you open up the dialogue with the audience, they understand how to analyze and how to criticize. So later, when they go home, they might think of their own how to really face issues like that. So that can be an action oriented. In legislative theater, as I was presenting, I mean, it is a campaign. It's a campaign of changing laws, of changing the situation on a different level, and it is also like a struggle with your own either politicians or your own government, your own legislators. In our case, of course, we don't have legislators because we all know what happened to our legislators. But at least we have the propositions for the laws that we can change. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have time for another question?
Sure.
Yes. We have a question from Dana, who's currently based in NYC. Actually, Dana, are you interested in coming on mic to share your question, or?
Yeah, I'm happy. Oops. I'm sorry. Oh, my video is not working for some reason. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I have music in the background. I'm curious, as someone who grew up Jewish, Israeli in occupied Palestine, anti-Zionist, communist, kind of giving my whole background. I'm wondering how you see us supporting this, getting involved potentially on the land without, taking roles from Palestinians, but kind of uplifting those voices while, staying aware of our identities as occupiers. As someone who is interested in getting involved, what would be the best way to support?
Yeah. Well, thank you for the question.
Yeah, I know it's a big one for a few more minutes. Curious.
Yeah, I think you have a very big role to do. And this role, first of all, needs to be your responsibility of changing your society. So I know that many colleagues of yours maybe, or people who are working in the theater of the oppressed as Israelis who are working in theater of the oppressed, I believe that their role is really to go into their society and make the change, because this is what we demand from you. I mean, but what they do, they try to come to us and work. They want to work with us. No, don't work with us. We know how to work with ourselves, but we want you to work in your society to make the change needed, because this is the problem. Your society is the problem, and your society needs change. So this is the most important thing that we see you do.
Thank you. Iman, I feel like if you continue to consent to questions, people will continue to bring them. So please let us know when you need to end your day. Yes?
I'm fine.
Okay. I know.
I'm fine.
There is no way I want to pause this Zoom at all. Rosa had a follow-up question about clown and Theatre of the Oppressed. Rosa, would you like to bring that directly?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I just hearing about your plans for working alongside the circus. I was really curious. I think from some of the images you shared, maybe there has already been some exploration of using circus and theatre of the oppressed together. And it's something that I've been exploring because those are different parts of my practice that I've also been trying to explore to bring together. And I was just wondering if that's something that you are ongoing in that partnership, if that's something that you're looking to explore further. And also any thoughts that you have on based on experience of how to create meaningful interaction with audiences when a play is has it within its form, very physical forms and very potentially like risky, like circus kind of things or clowning are part of the form, like how to still create meaningful interaction with audience.
I wish you were able to see the video, but please do have a look at the third video, because it answers you. Because we did work a pilot of our academy between circus and theater of the oppressed. Maybe you will not realize that it is theater of the oppressed there, because in the video, I mean, you don't see the interaction, but there is on our YouTube also 15 minutes of that pilot that you could watch, and then you will learn more about how it happened, this combination. Because yes, we are interested in combining different art forms, physical circus, clowning, and other things, but and really marry them, and not only do them like parallel, but interweaven.
Thank you. Thank you. We haven't had more questions in the chat. So this may be the last call for folks. And otherwise, I would just really love, Iman, to thank you so much. I can see, I don't know if you've tracked that there have been people from so many countries and so many different locations around the chat. So moved to hear how the practice is active in Ashtar Theatre's work, and to have this opportunity to concretely learn from you. And we have shared the links for how folks can watch all of the videos and make all of the donations. So I invite folks, if you would like to turn on your camera and wave so that Iman can see some of the community. Yes.
Can I say something
Yes, please do.
also important? I haven't said it before. I don't know if Sver is still here, but since the genocide, we have stopped taking money from the countries that are complicit in the war, and so for us, friends of Ashtar and support with people like you had been able to maintain us and to keep us going and to support also our people in Gaza, and that is important because we know that our role is vital, and we believe wholeheartedly with it or of it, but we know that we belong to a bigger family that is you. So we want you all to be part of this mission, and because together we can overcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see some people sharing their thanks in the chat. If you want to share something that you're planning to do from learning today, please share that in the chat. Please sign on to tomorrow's event. And Iman, we will be thinking of you and looking forward to all the updates as the work develops.
Thank you so much, and come to Palestine and be with us. We would love to see you here and work with you wherever you are. Thank you.
Actually, I'm
Thank
going to
you,
ask
Sulu.
I'm going to ask Ash, do you want to, because some folks at the beginning may not have met you, can you speak on Friends of Ashtar?
Of course, and thank you again. Thank you, Sulu and Iman, for this incredible conversation and organizing this. I'm Ash Marinaccio. I'm the chair of Friends of Ashtar in New York City. If you would like to be part of the work of Friends of Ashtar in the United States, please feel free to connect with me. I've put my email in the chat. We'll add you to our list. We're an organization that supports Iman and the work of Ashtar, and we're one of many Friends of Ashtars around the world. So please feel free to connect. I've also listed the donation link and the information for the event tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Sulu, once again, and thanks to Howard Brown again and again, and to each and every one of you. It was great to be with you.
Thank you so much. Good night, Iman.
Good night.
شكرا جزيلا.
عفوا